as this is how my lives happen. Spirit basically pings me to go do some work, and I go and do it. And whoever needs to be there at that time will be. Otherwise, you can catch it during the replay. So I'm just going to give a couple of minutes for people to show up, as they will, and then we can get into today's topic. So for those of you who are watching this on the replay, just feel free to skip forwards 2 to 3 minutes. And yeah, so a couple of interesting things have been happening in my life. um, well, a lot of interesting things, um, but certainly things that have been very sobering, things that have been very empowering but sobering at the same time, I should say. And there's a couple of key alignments that I have to thank for that. Oh. We see a couple of people that have arrived. Hello, 305 Capricorn, Whole Soul Drumming, Chiron, Latoya, Yesi, okay, Dusana. Very good to see all of you. 305 wants to know, how am I today? Well, today, I was wondering, should I say this? Should I not say this? Well, I decided to end my partnership today. So I am feeling liberated, as it cost me quite a bit, but it's still not easy, but it's one of those things that just need to happen. So yes, so solo and learning to love it again, slowly, one day at a time. I also wanted to introduce to you someone whom I haven't introduced to you before. This is my hammer. I have a hammer, and I call it Mjolbai, because I used to like doing DIY projects and so on and so forth. So it felt like a good day to take up the hammer again, energetically speaking. So, but no, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. But it is, let's just say it was something that needed to happen. And I am very glad that I chose to do it in my own way. So let us look at key alignments since we have a little crowd here. Let's see who else we have. We have Joyous Day, we have Pamela, we have Jonathan, Adrienne, Taylor, Nacha, who's also just gone through a tough breakup. Good time to do it though, Sarah, and a wild lovely one. Good to see all of you there. So let's see. Oh, Maria, hello, hello. And Adonis says, good for Yuri going solo. Hope it's more healing on the heart. Sending you a hug. About to do the same myself. It's time for it to happen. If you're not in a relationship or an alignment that actually honors you and the feminine in you, cut it now before you go into that space where you're not going to come at it with calmness and grace. So let's just put it this way. Okay, Mana says hello. Sheena says good to see you. Good to see you too. Rainy day here today, washing things away. Same, same. Um, Maggie says hello. Hello, Maggie. Sharon says hello, Dr. B. Hello. While lovely one says, oh no, so sorry to hear that. Hugs. Thank you. I appreciate it. But you know what? I will be fine. I will be well. Wasn't what I will say, because I don't like bitching about people in that way. Um, it was definitely one of, it's not a casual fling. So, it'll take a little time, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm more concerned about baby because baby was quite attached, but that hurts me more. Let's see. Tamalan says hi, Dr. B. Hello, Tamalan. So, having said all of that and acknowledge what is going on, so I can do a good job in this space, because if you've got that weighing on you, that doesn't work so well. Batwoman says I look glowy and ethereal. Maybe it's the lighting. Maybe. Could be. Could be. John says, what a full moon mean? That is possibly the most honest question that has been asked here. I appreciate your question, John. Okay, so let's go over the basics. Let's talk about what's happening in the skies today. Now we've got enough time, and I have acknowledged what needs to be acknowledged. So let's go over what we need to look at today. So today, we've got, of course, the full moon in the sign of Aries, and that's basically, it went exact about 3 hours ago at 27 degrees of Aries. Now, as a quick recap, full moons are basically times where things are drawn out of the shadows and into the complete light of illumination, which is why a lot of things happen during full moons. Sometimes people get more emotional, yes, but sometimes a lot of important revelations come into play. New moons are also very important, and that's for a different purpose. So this particular full moon, and I knew something was going to happen at this time. I knew it was going to happen for like since about the end of August. So I've been preparing for this since the end of August. So I'm not that surprised, but I also knew the timing. Just because you know the astrology doesn't mean that bad decisions necessarily become good ones. So, but effectively, this particular full moon is extraordinarily strong because the moon itself is trine the galactic center at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. The galactic center is the center of the Milky Way. Within astrology, people find it very hard to define because no one really has a this is what it is all about. There are people who write about it, yes, but no one really knows what it does. From personal experiences, and I can only speak from experience, which is what I have the authority to talk about, I see that whenever galactic center alignments come through, we inevitably see what is the larger construct of truth that a person follows, that a person walks on, that a person embodies. And sometimes those truths are parallel and compatible with yours, and sometimes it's not. So when we have an Aries full moon that is trying the galactic center, it is certainly a time where the truth and knowledge of the self must shine through. And this is when and where you will know if the people in your space are also shining with that same type of truth or not. So again, that's why I said not at all surprised. So this is a time where we need to go into the depth of the self and to pull out aspects of that self that have been hidden, that have been forgotten, that have been overlooked. If this is a time where you are hiding away, honey, you are hiding away from yourself and from all the gifts that the universe is here and ready to maybe not provide, but point you in the direction of. This is not a day for the blanket fort. Let's put it this way. Um, what is also going on at the same time is that we also see Venus at 14 degrees of Sagittarius conjunct the great attractor at 14 degrees of Sagittarius as well. The great attractor is actually more powerful in the galactic center. It is an energy that pushes and pulls you towards different truths, but it's more powerful in terms of its gravitational influence. It's also more mysterious. But when the great attractor gets hit, see, the galactic center is a lot about established truths, but the great attractor is more about choosing your path. And that's the way I've always seen it. I was born with Saturn on the great attractor, I would know. So Venus conjunct the great attractor is a very powerful alignment that once again asks us to embody and walk the path in matters of relationships, contracts, connections, and love. If you have been walking your path of truth, this is a very sweet time for relationships. If you have been walking your path of truth with someone in a way that honors not only yourself, but also honors them, this is a time where a lot of beauty can actually unfold. However, if you've not been, then it's a time for a cut. Because if you try to prolong anything that is not in alignment with the truth of spirit after this point, you're kidding yourself and things are not going to go well. And I can tell you why in a little bit. Not only do we see Venus conjunct the great attractor, not only do we see the moon trine the galactic center, but we also see Saturn at 6 degrees of Aquarius in conjunct Thereus, the hunter stalker. I was talking to one of my friends and clients, longtime client, also a friend, and she always makes me giggle because when she has Thereus alignments happen, and she's an African American. I'm not trying to mimic the accent or something, but it's hilarious. She'll basically be like, "That son of a bitch, he attacked me," and da, 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 da. I just can't. I can't even do it. It's fantastic. I asked her to make a recording for me, and I'm sure she will at some point. But when Thereus is aspected by Saturn, here we actually can see from if you are playing the role of Saturn, you can actually see from a perspective that is expanded, from a perspective that is just, that is fair, from a perspective that allows you to see all the larger picture before just moving into things. Um, But at this point, Saturn actually gives you an insight into Thereus. And Thereus, the hunter stalker in the sign of Virgo, is all about the mismanagement of resources, of preservation and self preservation. It is about the mismanagement and misuse of the concept of service. It is about where the hunter stalker situates themselves in a way that basically feeds off of health, energy, vitality, and so on and so forth. So Saturn in conjunct Aries gives you this bolt of insight, which can basically say, no, I am drawing a line. And that is the energy at this time. In fact, yesterday we did this tier 23 meditation. It was quite tough. The tier 23 group is a pretty awakened group. But even there, I could see a lot of people were struggling with the Thereus aspect of this because Thereus is a very different and difficult energy to deal with. In Virgo, people become over obsessed. They become over perfectionist. They like, no, we have to find the leak. We have to find the flaw. We have to fix this. We have to heal this. And that's not the opportunity that Saturn is giving you right now. Saturn is giving you the opportunity to take a look at the larger picture and realize what is the role that has been played by this. What are the allowances that have gone around creating the situation? What is your role in this? What is the other person's role in this? And how can you transform the situation to what it needs to be for the highest and deepest good of all, as per New Occult law? So, that is the opportunity that is given here. And this particular inconjunct comes alive, especially if you have anything near, let me just calculate this real quick. It should be 6 degrees of Cancer. If you have anything near 6 degrees of Cancer, this inconjunct comes alive very, very powerfully. The other thing is if you have anything near 6 degrees of, should be Aries. Yes, it should be Aries. Yeah. 6 degrees of Aries or 6 degrees of Cancer. So if you've got anything going along those parts of the chart, that is going to be very powerfully activating the Saturn Thereus in conjunct. Issues surrounding health, wellness, management of resources, questions that you have surrounding guides and the notion of the greater good, the role of the intellect in understanding spirituality and what is meant by service, all of these questions can come up very powerfully. On top of all of that, at the same time, we are seeing Mercury at 10 degrees of Libra, trying to Black Moon Lilith at 10 degrees of Gemini. So, this is really a time where the voice of the feminine that has been oppressed, that has been projected on, needs to be heard and needs to be seen. And it doesn't matter whether the other person is willing to hear your words, it doesn't matter if the other person is willing to recognize your truth or not. It is about you expressing what needs to be said, especially if your words have been going ignored for a long time. And if you have anything near 10 degrees of Aquarius, which Saturn is close ish enough to, this then creates a grand air trine. So, it's already fairly lit in the skies at this time. So, this is what I wanted to share in terms of the alignments, in terms of what is coming up, what is going on. It's really a time where we are all asked to walk a particular path of truth that resonates with the innermost aspects of ourselves. That's not intellect, that's not emotion, that's not a conscious thought. That's something a lot more aligned with this inner primal spark, which you can't really put into words. That's what's being, what's coming up right now. And the next few days are going to only intensify this alignment because the sun is going to go on, and the sun is going to be aspecting Aries, the sun is going to be aspecting Pluto. So the next few days are going to be very explosive. If you do not recognize what you need, whether in partnership or in finding some kind of balance, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, whether it's even within yourself, if you do not take this time to really look at what is important and what is real and what must be heard and understood, it is all going to blow. So go at it when you actually have a space of level headedness to do it, as opposed to getting nastily triggered into it. Because even if you have a situation that needs an ending, it is better to do it in a space where you can come from a place of level headedness as opposed to something violent, sticky, icky, and so on and so forth. Now, some relationships and connections can and will survive and maybe even thrive this transit. But if you're already on rocky ground and the different players don't want to do their work, nothing gonna happen. So, that's what's happening. So let's see. What do we have here? John sends a heart, thank you. Dusana says, you got that fresh on my way look. I don't know what it is, but that sounds nice. Tamalan says, lots of hugs, warm and fuzzies to you. Hope you find healing, that the process is smooth and uninterrupted. I am probably going to build some cupboards with Mjolby, which is my hammer. Then that will make me feel better. Yes. Adrian laughs. John sends fire emojis. Taylor says, Merp, my mentor. Anandana is saying, is being sick of people's agendas and wanting to hermit a form of personal truth? Yes and no. If your personal truth is, if you're being triggered by other people's agendas, you're still listening to shit, you know? And I'm not saying don't listen to other people. I disagree with people most of the time. But if you let it interfere with your personal peace, there's something else that's going on there. I mean, I was talking about this with my brother the other day. I really don't like it when people say, I hate humanity. Oh, but nature's so wonderful. I hate humanity, but animals are so wonderful. And I'm a cat mommy. So, loving animals, loving natures is that's a wonderful thing to do. But people almost are beginning to equate, and I'm not saying you're doing this, Anadinus. This is something that just is something that I've been considering. But people more so now, when they begin to find that they have a way of seeing the world that's not quite mainstream, that's not quite status quo, instead of just living their lives, they're losing a lot of energy trying to define themselves in opposition to whatever imagined overlord or oppressor is. I mean, humanity is the same spark and the same impulse that leads a woman to go and create a shelter that saves 200, stray dogs somewhere. Humanity is the same impulse that a child can go out there and put a lemonade stand and then go and donate to other children in need. Humanity is someone who's just seeing the beauty and love in another person. And these are things to celebrate and rejoice. At the end of the day, there is nothing that is perfectly going to align with your path, nor should it, nor will it. Just live your path and ignore what else other people have to say. It's okay and good to have discussions, but if you are too busy living what your truth is, you're not going to care what someone else is doing or not doing. As long as you're doing your part in the world, you don't need to be listening to what everybody else is saying. Just focus on your path and what work it entails, and that will bring you a lot more peace. Let's see, what else we got here? Adrian says my north is at 10 degrees, north node is at 10 degrees of Aquarius. Yx. Karin says, hi, Dr. B. Hi, everyone. Hello. Nacha Libra says, building cupboards is badass. The hammering in the nails is very satisfying. Chiron says, wow, great. Grand Aunt Trine activated with my moon. I add my grievances big time and with compassion last night after the meditation. Chiron was there looking perfectly zonked, which happens. I was received well. That has brought in some new energy for sure. Fantastic. Dara says, hi. She does says, build the cupboards. Use that lovely hammer. Philip says, peace to you. Michi says, greetings, Dr. B. Thereus crossed my mind yesterday. Yep. Michi says, greetings, everybody. Gina says, so true. Nacha says, well said, I've noticed the same thing about people defining themselves in opposition to, but not had a good way to articulate that. I just get, I look at things, I look at Instagram to relax, but my Instagram is mostly made up of animals. Animals and people cooking nice food. That tends to be my relaxation space. So I don't really interact with a lot of what people write or think. I'm even getting annoyed with all of the psychologists that are popping up because, and it's not like I'm looking for them. I'm trying to see a cute puppy that's doing a dance, and then all of a sudden I see these are the 10 signs of anxiety. This is what you need to say, and I'm like, quit trying to populate my feed. I'm not even looking for you. So yeah, and that in those moments, irritation does come up because I'm not even looking for it. Tamika says hello and blessings to all. Hello. Karen says Venus 4 degree in Cancer. Interesting. Dusana says, what's something you're looking forward to in the coming weeks? I honestly do not know. I mean, I was actually planning to like completely change where I was living for this connection and everything. And right now, ending it is just like World War III went off and every plan is to be rethought. So, right now, I guess it would be thinking about what the next step is going to be and how. Maybe the Taurus full moon next month will be showing me which way I need to go. But yeah, I guess it's looking forward to writing a path and story that's more aligned to me and my true family. Tamalan says, this full moon past few weeks really made me aware of the ways I accept less than what I want, no more of that. Good job. VB says, hello, Dr. B. Hello, VB. Sarah gives a heart and this. I get that too. Batwoman says, yes, to about humanity. Your teachings of meditations have meant me deeply. Thank you. Most welcome. Dusana says, lol, my IG feed is full of trees, mushrooms, and rivers. Fair enough. Nacha says, my Instagram is beautiful landscapes and cats. Yeah, I got the landscapes too. And cats, well, also dogs. Dogs seem very sweet too. I basically, this is what I do with my besties. Like, even if I'm dying in crippling amount of pain, I'll still find the time to like, oh, this dog, my friend would like this dog. And I'll just be like spamming them with the best quality content of cute dogs and cute cats. So that's what I do. So if you get spammed like, 10, 15 cute cat videos a day, yes, you're on my bestie friend list. DJ Drea says, finally made the live. Hey all from Hawaii. Hey, hey. Knowing American opulence claps. Grand day, grand day. Batwoman says same. And Tamalan, yes, he says, look forward to that moon too. Ah, here's a name I haven't seen in a while. Hello, Mariama Jones. Nice to see you. And Pamela says, I made peace with someone from my past in my dreams last night, feeling good about how that spirit interaction took place. Very good. That is excellent work. And that actually brings me to something else that was going on too. We did see the sun at 27 degrees of Libra sextile the galactic center. And that basically activates a yod at 27 degrees of Taurus. Let me think about that for a sec. Yeah, 27 degrees of Taurus, which is actually where Algol is. Haha. That's the Medusa's head in the Perseus constellation. But also a very powerful time to be setting to rest old dynamics, especially dynamics that have involved the demonization or the persecution of the feminine. That's not to say that the feminine has always been right. Every energy has the capacity to be turned toxic if you're not careful. Sometimes it was the case, and sometimes it was you know, projection. Knowing American opulence said had two dreams of a flood in New York, the water just rose. That doesn't sound fun, but hopefully no innocents will be harmed. Hopefully. Lots of good people in New York whom I know and nearby states. So that's what I wanted to tell you in terms of the astrology. Do we have any questions that need to come up? And remember this explosive energy in which the feminine must be honored, must be respected. It continues the next few days. We got Mars opposite Aries tomorrow. If you are not willing to listen to the rising feminine, oh, you're not going to have a good time. So state your piece and get out of the way of that hurricane, unless you really just want to go down the drama cycle. Tomorrow's an also really good day to be doing earth-based prayers because we see the sun at 28 Libra conjunct Haumea, mother of Pele. We also see another very strong earth-based activation with Vesta at 15 degrees Scorpio, conjunct Typhon, the great serpent, tyrant, demon, monster king in the earth, and it's actually under Mount Etna. And I noticed that sometimes when Typhon activations happen, Etna goes off somewhere. But certainly a day where a lot of earth-based activations, that energy of the rising feminine come through. It's going to be very, very pronounced tomorrow. So I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing more seismological events being noted. So let's see. Uh, Anadonis says, I watch, listen to multiple astrology forecasts on the regular to get an idea of cosmic weather. One astrologist described the Aries full moon as a crisis portal and on transformation time thoughts. Thoughts is, I don't give a shit what other people are saying because, again, if I start worrying about what other people are saying, I will not be focused on my work. That's about it. So find pieces of what pieces of information actually resonate with you and stick with that. You don't need to be discussing it. If it resonates with you, it resonates with you, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Generally speaking, I don't like commenting on what other people have said astrologically because I don't think a lot of people actually understand what they're playing with. So don't ask me that question, please. Let's see. Vivi says, do you see something to rejoice for in the next couple of months? I wouldn't call it rejoice, but I definitely see some opportunities for people to actually work towards building something after December. Like this entire year, I didn't really like it too much. But I think for people who are in a space of honesty with themselves, they're probably going to start to find more healing, especially after December. So I can't really say that I think much of the next few months. Let's see. Tamalan says, hopefully that flood stays in your dreamscape. I like the way you put that. Taylor says, Argol. Yes, it is Algol. It is literally, for those of you who are Batman fans, you'll recognize the name. It's Ra's al Ghul was the original name, the demon's head. And it's in the constellation of Perseus. It's what refers to Medusa. Everyone has that as a fixed point in the chart. Um, Chiron says, any loot updates? Well, the loot, as those of you know, I've been experimenting with the loot. I can go grab it if you want me to, but we'll see. I've managed to break 2 strings on the lute, and I realized that if I pull it too tight, it can literally jump out of the loop and stab me. So thankfully, no injuries so far. I have been experimenting with the Phrygian dominant scale, which is what people use in heavy metal a lot of the time, and it sounds awesome. I just don't like the normal C major. I can't do C major. I've never been able to do C major, but the Phrygian dominant scale is quite good. You find that a lot in Mediterranean music, Middle Eastern and Mediterranean. Let's see. Nacha says, can relate to the destabilized feeling, was planning a life with my partner. I'm sorry, I know how it is. But then it fell apart, and now I have to figure out what my next life step would without her. I'm sad, but I also feel liberated. I feel exactly where you are right now. Lennis said, greetings, you mentioned 27 degrees in Taurus. I can double check where our goal is, but I believe it's 26, 27, somewhere around there. Hang on. Let me. Hang on. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Come on now, go. Where did you go? That's all not. I can't find you right now. Maybe I'll check constellation of birds. Is it 26 or 27? You know what? I'll look that up later and post that as a comment. But it's about that space. Cafe with Cassandra says, so happy to see you live. I'm feeling super sensitive to the sun. Oh, got the message to stay indoors. Is this connected to the Aries action in the skies? I'm exhausted. It's for you, knowing you, it's more connected to the galactic center activation. So maybe you want to go back to the start of the video. Graciela says, hi, Dr. B. Hi. Knowing American Opulence is saying life is becoming more and more self-centered in a good way. Yes, as long as people aren't assholes about it, it's very important to focus on the self and honor the self. It becomes too easy to, on the one hand, we do need to stay open to other people, but on the other hand, we also got to be very careful with how we are open to them. So, there's always room for other people, but it's got to be mediated by the self in a more careful way. So, yes, I agree. It can certainly become more self centered in a good way. Um, Hang on. Coyote sends hearts. Hello, Coyote Prophet. Um, hey. Um, Chiron says, can you spell it? Algol. That's Algol. I don't usually talk about this because the fixed stars have their own power. It's another one of those cases of you start looking into them, they start looking back. Um, okay, DJ Drea says, cool, love the loot. I'm going back to basics with my guitar. I chose E minor for my new song. We see how it goes. Sounds good. Christine Buckingham says, hi, Dr. B. Glad to see you live. Thank you. Coyote Prophet says, been a while. It has. It has. I hope you are well, my friend. I hope you are well. Lucky Cat was helping me process my breakup today by and I see Coyote Prophet. I think of Lucky Cat because my brother's worried that Coyote Prophet is going to kidnap his cat. Don't ask me why. And so, so I was holding Lucky Cat hostage and singing, let it go, let it go. And she's just like, ooh, as Lucky Cat does. So, she's been helping. She has been helping. Uh, Love One Cruz says, hello, nice to see you. Nice to see you too. Sarah says, sending love to you all. Very good, very good. But I am getting distracted from looking at, to be honest, I was already like getting to this space and I was like singing Rolling in the Deep. And I do not think that I am the greatest singer in the world, but that is one song that I love to sing is Rolling in the Deep. That is my breakup song. So if I start singing Rolling in the Deep, my brain is already like, okay, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So I was belting that out the other day, and my little girl, she got so worried. She was like, Mommy, what's wrong? Mommy, why? Why? Because she gets worried if my voice goes a little bit louder than usual. It is 1:51 a.m. here, so I am not going to be doing it out of respect for the neighbors next door, irrespective of whether they care about other people. But yeah, it's been fun. The girls have been trying to help. I remember when I was in England and the song came out, and I was singing it in a park with some friends, and people were clapping and that kind of thing. It is a great song. But yeah, I'm probably going to be belting that out a couple of times tomorrow. But that's the breakup process. You gotta have Adele. You gotta have Adele. She wrote this song for Aries. She wrote this song. But yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm okay despite stuff. Um and doing my best. And this moon is bringing all kinds of stuff up, which is completely, to be expected, to be predicted. Nothing unpredicted. Just, you know, that's about it. Jolie says, great song. Meghna says, well, hello. I'll just head back to the beginning and watch. Sounds good, Meghna. I'm just about to wrap up. Just about to wrap up. So unless there are any pressing questions with respect to the work or with respect to other things that I can answer, do let me know before I head off. Let's see. So I'm just giving a minute before I go chow chow. Oh, Christine says, glad you're okay. Thank you. You're strong. I am doing my best. It hurts a lot, but I am doing my best. I have survived worse. Nacha says, my breakup song is Dolly Parton, I Will Always Love You. How is that a breakup song? Oh man, that's gotta hurt. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's gotta hurt. You better take care of yourselves the next couple of days. It's you know what? I know it's such a painful experience, but it's better to be true to yourself, than be in a situation in which you or the other person are being deeply disrespected, you know? So yeah, that just says she's saying goodbye tenderly. Oh, okay. Well, if it works for you, that's good. DJ Dre says sending love. Thank you. Lady Luck says sending you a hug, Dr. B. Thank you. I appreciate it. When I am back in flirty time, we'll see what happens, but that's not going to be for a while. Chiron says heading to the pumpkin patch. Are you going to be doing jack-o'-lantern? Send me photos if you do jack-o'-lanterns. Christine says amen. So I send all of you much love, very many blessings. Astrology is a way of accessing reality, but it is not life. At the end of the day, listen to this, and it will match up with the astrology, anyways. So take care, very many blessings, lots and lots of love to all of you. Sessions are still ongoing. And doing this move in my life has brought back a lot of energy, which is great. So you can always look me up there. And ciao ciao for now, and thank you all for your support. And Chiron sends me a virtual apple cider donut. Thank you. Bye. Bye.